Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I've been hesitating to press record because I don't really know what I want to say today. What a great intro. Are you hooked? Do you like my intros? Am I good at hooks? I'm not. I know I'm not. I'm on day 1 of my cycle today and I'm tired. I've had the day to myself, which has been lovely. Haven't been out today. I need to go out at some point for Faye. But yeah. I know what I want to talk about. I've been very intrigued to see that the videos that have been doing really well have been, there's 2. One I named like watch me be an authentic mess for 17 minutes straight, and the other one was the other one? Oh yeah, like I'm so tired I don't know what to name this video. And those 2 seem to have been like taken really well. Like they've been watched more times than most of my other ones. Yeah, I just think it's really interesting. I just think that the ones where I've been, I wouldn't even say most authentic, because I've actually been authentic in all of the videos that I've been doing. I think this is the 9th one I've done. I think this is day 9 of doing these. I'm trying to give myself a challenge of doing these videos for 30 days to find my voice, find how I want to speak, what I want to speak about, practice being myself in front of the camera. I even mentioned, I think yesterday, like my partner's not here today, but it's my mess of a van in this shot, probably. I didn't even think about that. You see how messy my van is. Yeah, he's not here today, but when winter comes about, as the days start getting not very nice, we're actually supposed to have a lot of rain here, so it might even be a lot sooner than I thought. There are going to be days when I probably need to film in the van while someone's listening to me. So yeah, this is kind of practice for that. It's just like practice for being able to, I'm fidgeting so much. I'm so not comfy. It's fine. I'll find a comfy spot in a sec. Yeah, finding how to be expressive with my voice, how to express myself in a way that is fun, that is something I can be consistent with, that is something that flows with my lifestyle. So yeah, sorry, I went on a bit of a tangent. So I wouldn't say that those videos that have done well have been like my most authentic, because all of them have been authentic. But they're the ones that are like the most messy, the ones that are the least polished, especially in terms of like what they're called and what I'm saying or how I'm delivering or structuring the video. Yeah, and I just think that's really interesting. And like when you think about art, if that was my stomach making weird noises. When you think about art, like there are some pieces of art that are just mess, right? Like things just like flung onto the canvas and people love them, you know? So I think there's a lesson in there of you can't really determine like what is messy and what is polished. Some things might end up being super obvious, right? But then even if you look at like fashion and things on the runway, you know, a lot of what they do, if somebody dressed that like that in normal life, it would be considered messy or weird or not put together. But then it's praised on the runway. So yeah, I think it's just like get messy. Like this is me telling this to myself. I apologize if my words do not come out great today. First day of my cycle. We're forgiving that, okay? We're being messy. We're being blatantly, completely messy, and I'm just putting it out there. And I think that the mess is a really big factor in finding your voice. And I don't just mean voice, you know, like I said, if you're a dancer, your voice might be how you dance. If you're a singer, it could be your literal voice. If you're a writer, it could be how you write, you know. So when I say your voice, I don't just mean voice. I think I made my point. Yeah, I think you need to like access the mess. I actually think that the mess is the art. Because if you think about things that are polished and put together and very structured, we don't consider that art. If you think about, the thing that's coming to my mind is just like business. If you think about business, and when somebody like really structures something and really plans something and puts it together, we don't consider that art. There might be some creativity in it, but that's not art. That's like a thing. It's like a structure. If you think about maths, it's structure and it's planned and it is what it is. It's polished. That's the thing I'm trying to say. That's not art. Art is the mess. I'm thinking like music. How did music come about? How did an instrument come about? Probably by someone just like making weird sounds on a tree stump, or like probably not a tree stump because that wouldn't make a great sound, but you get my point. Or like making sounds on a piece of string. How did art come about? People just like randomly drawing stuff like cavemen, like markings on the walls. Singing, I don't know. I've lost my examples, but they all came about from something that was probably a mistake. You hear a lot of people who are chefs who create dishes that came from a mistake. Like something got burnt and they made caramel, or one ingredient accidentally had something else put into it and they made this incredible thing. It came from an accident. It came from something going wrong. It came from something messy. You think about music and songwriters, and a lot of the best songs, arguably, come from a moment of pain or discomfort, or like this really traumatic thing they went through, or love or heartbreak. These very deep, intense, vulnerable, messy moments. So one thing this whole process is teaching me is how important it is to access that messiness. Not even access, allow, how do I want to word this? Like, allow the messiness to come through. There's a quote, I can't remember if I said this before, from, and now I've completely blanked on his name. Very famous singer. You're 100% going to know who I'm talking about, and I can't remember his name. Ed Sheeran, there we go. So there's this like interview or documentary or something from Ed Sheeran, and he talks about how, like, when he started writing songs, when he started doing music, he was really bad. Like he's like, you wouldn't enjoy listening to the stuff I wrote or sang very early on in my, like, when I started when he was a child. But he talked about his art, his creativity being this old, rusty, dirty tap, and the good stuff, like the good songs, were like the clear water running through. But to get to that clear water, you need to turn the tap on and like let all the gunk come out, like all this like disgustingness come out. Then maybe some water will come, but it will be like murky, muddy water. Then it'll come, then it'll be a bit clearer, but it's still not so great. And then eventually, when all that's been flushed out, then you'll get the clear water. And that's really stuck with me. I heard this like quite a few years ago. Okay, someone's shouting outside. Hopefully you can't hear that, sorry. So yeah, you need to like get rid of all this mess, this disgustingness, this like, just, I don't even know what other word to put to it, because it doesn't have to be, it's just like experimenting, the stuff that doesn't land, the stuff that people aren't going to enjoy, the stuff that doesn't have value to other people, doesn't have entertainment value, whatever it is. You have to let all that stuff come out before you can let the clear water come out, before you can get like the good stuff, the juicy stuff to actually come out. Yeah, and I think that I've just thought of something else. I'm going to come to that in a second. Yeah, you need to like access the mess, or let the mess come out, or what you think is mess, because it could be messy and completely unenjoyable to anybody else. But some of that mess might actually be valuable to people. Even in my videos that I'm doing now, let's be honest, like I've only really just started this properly. Like I've been doing this here and there for years, but especially this, like speaking just directly to camera and like not having anything planned and just letting my thoughts flow through. I'm very, very new to this. So I don't have an audience right now. I don't have like people who trust me, who want to listen to me, who, um, you know my point of view and want to hear more from me. I don't have that audience yet, and I get that, and that's absolutely fine. But I have people who are commenting on my videos. Losing my voice. Oh, hello. Who are commenting on my videos here on YouTube on my long form, but also on my short form on YouTube and on Instagram, because I'm posting on both on my short form. Like I'm not saying there's like loads of comments, it's like a handful of comments, but some of what I'm saying is resonating with people. And like, I'm not really planning any of this. This is like the muck, I would say. This is me just like, like trying to get it out. And it's still resonating with people. So I think there's a huge, like, yeah, there's just like a huge lesson there, like that you can tap into, that I can tap into. Um, that I think can keep us running from the beginning all the way through. Because even when we get to the point where we have like the clear water coming through, there still might be pieces of mud or pieces of dirt that want to come through, and that's fine. You know, I think there's a damage of like putting people on pedestals, and being like, oh yeah, you put out this amazing piece of work, so everything you put out has to be amazing. It's like, no, just like stop trying to put out your art, your expression for other people. Like stop trying to like create commissioned work for other people. Just create from what's inside you. Go through the phases of your life, go through the ups and the downs. And I've been speaking a lot about art and expression to my sister. We have voice notes back and forth, like really long ones. And we've been talking a lot about this topic of art and expression. And, there's a lot of people you see where when they're really struggling in life, it might be a heartbreak, it might be like just their situation in life. And they can make some really good art. Like it's really deep. It's like very visceral, very vulnerable. And people can connect to that because maybe you don't see that in the polished parts of life, right? You need to go to art to be able to access that. But then, when people maybe get more money or they get a new relationship or their life circumstances change for the better, their art loses its, what's the word? Like its depth, right? And we were saying, does it have to be like that? Because if how you access your art is by listening to what's going on inside you, like becoming very, very attuned to your own energy. Like, I don't just mean like, oh, understand what you're thinking. I mean like really, really tuned in to the sensations of the experience of you. And I want to go into this further at some point. I think it's something that I really want to talk about, but I'm just letting things come up naturally. So at some point it will come up naturally about being sensitive, especially highly sensitive people. I am a highly sensitive person, which is why I find that I have more access to, magic, to reading tarot, to channeling messages, because I can tap into those like very subtle, sensitive energies. And I think a lot of highly sensitive people can do that. I think everybody can do that, but I think highly sensitive people are more attuned to those like very, very subtle energies. And I think that is like the art, being able to listen closely and gently to those very, very subtle energies. Like to all energies. I don't just mean subtle energies, but I mean like have access to the whole spectrum and being able to understand exactly who you are and what's going on in that moment. Like I said with these videos, I'm not planning them, and I'm not saying that I'm deciding how I'm going to show up that day. I'm saying I'm not even deciding, I'm listening to how I need to authentically show up in that moment. So I'm not planning anything I'm not trying to show something that's like what I've thought about earlier today. I'm just like hitting record and then showing up as I am in that moment, and seeing what comes through. So I'm really practicing this idea of how can I access what's going on inside me right now? And a lot of that for me, I was going to say a lot of that. Yeah, like a lot of that for me is to do with like my cycle. I'm a woman. I have a menstrual cycle and energies flow and change through that. I've spent many years now understanding what that means, listening to that, listening to my body. I still find it amazing that I can understand like to the day when things are going to happen, like when I'm going to ovulate, when I'm going to bleed, when I'm going to, like my energy is going to shift, like my hormones are going to do something different. I just find that incredible that I can hear that in my body, energetically speaking. And I think that's a really good example of what I'm trying to say. Because as women, that is something we can access, but we can also access that as humans with everything else energetically, with what's happening around us, with the environment, with how we're feeling, with what we're thinking, with what we're processing, with what ideas are coming through, with what wants to be created. And yeah, I just think our art is there. I'm still struggling to find the words to really explain what I'm trying to say here. And, like I said, maybe this will come out better a different day, like this specific part that I'm trying to say. But I think that our ability to understand the small sensations in us, if we can keep connected to those, it doesn't matter where we go in life, whether we're feeling these deep, intense emotions or whether we're feeling these like amazing, happy, high emotions. If we can like alchemize those sensations into expression, then our art is always there, because our art isn't always expected to be this like deep, emotional, traumatic space. Can we turn the joy and the excitement into art as well? Or if we have started learning how to turn the joy and excitement into art, can we learn how to do the other stuff too, and access all these different range of emotions and experiences, and being able to turn all of it into art and accept all of those different parts of life, all of those different parts of what it is to be human, to grow, to fail, to succeed, to love, to be in pain, to be passionate, like all these things. Can we turn all of it into art, and a way to express ourselves and put a piece of ourself out into the world? I feel very in flow. I don't even know what I just said. Sometimes this happens. Like this is when I feel like I'm channeling something, is because I don't really know what I just said. I actually don't know if I could retell you what I just said. Like that just kind of like flows through. Yeah. I've been talking a lot about art and expression. I think it's just where I'm at and what I'm going through at the moment. It's what this is. So I guess I'm kind of trying to take you along for the journey with me. And I think that me being able to, so I'm looking down because I'm like trying to find my words, not like a script. I mean, like I'm trying to like find the words from my brain that I'm trying to say. I think that me being able to harness the power of my art, my expression, my voice is what is going to bring me the life that I want, the life that I deserve, the life that I dream of. I don't just mean financially. I mean in many, many different ways. I don't know if I could give examples of what I mean by that. It's a feeling. It's a trust. It's more of a trust the more I do it. The more I do these videos, the more I'm putting myself out here, the more I'm giving my opinions and my experiences and my words and my voice. I'm trusting it more and more and more. I'm like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And I've tested so many different things to get here. So I know what it's like to have people say to you, like, find what you're passionate about. And you're like, I don't know what that thing is. Or I'm passionate about a million things. How do I pick one? And so I get it taking a long time. You know, I really truly do. I think I'm only just starting to understand how to tap into what I'm passionate about. I can't even give it a name. And I think that's hard because I think if someone wants to be an athlete, it's really easy to say, I want to be an athlete and I'm going to train 16 times a day. But if you want to, like, if your thing that you're passionate about isn't like a normal labeled thing, which I don't feel like mine is necessarily, it's hard to do that because I don't know how to access that. So I'm like practicing my passion. I'm practicing and experimenting and finding out what that is for me because, you know, I don't think everything needs a label. I don't think everything needs a word. The English language is just a tool. It's just words. It's not, the words aren't facts. They're just a way for us to communicate. So I do feel like I eventually want to find a way to name what it is that I'm doing or be able to put a label to it more for like the communication of myself, of like how I understand it, or even the communication that I could maybe have to other people about what I'm doing or what I love. Yeah, kind of went off on a bit of a tangent there. Follow your passions. Like, even if you don't even know what it is, like if something's pulling you, just do it and like get the mud out. It's fine. I'm here for you, even if I don't know who you are, even if I can't see you. Like I get it. I so get it. Like I'm 32 and I'm only just figuring this stuff out. And that doesn't mean that, you know, you're going to be 32 before you figure it out. I'm saying like, it's never too late. You know, there isn't such thing as you're too old or it's too late. That's ridiculous and that doesn't exist. But also like the time is now. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, the time is now. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. Like I feel like it's important and I feel like you understand what I'm talking about, but I don't necessarily know where I'm going. I think I might stop. I think my brain's trying to say like 16 different things. Oh, I did 22 minutes. Wow, I talked today. I thought this was going to be a really short one. Okay. I would love to know in the comments if you have any thoughts on anything I've said. I'm very interested to see if anybody watches these videos to the end because I don't think they do, but we'll see. And yeah, if you like me, if it's the first time you've seen me, please subscribe. If you've seen me a few times and you like my videos, please subscribe. Please like this video if you enjoyed it so I can see how much people are enjoying these videos. And I will see you next time.